Warm welcome to you, Brother Shivendra, to the studios of Sri Sathya Sai Media Center. The Center Leaders Conference just concluded, and you, as a convener of this conference, I know have burned the midnight oil for so many months. So probably you are now breathing easy, and you must tell us about the chills and thrills of this journey and how you felt the fragrance of Bhagwan's presence. I think without that, this would not have been possible. So tell us about this journey.
Yeah, thank you, Brother Sairam. It's great to be here having this conversation, and my Sairam to all the listeners as well. I think that's a topic I can continue talking about. It's been a very different experience, particularly organizing something of this magnitude and working with the broader Sai family. The only thing this big I've done previously would have been youth events. So this being the first event where I've sort of graduated from the youth and organizing something with my uncles and aunties as well. So it's been a good learning experience. In terms of the thrills, the event became way bigger than we thought. We got more people than we thought, while also being happy that so many of the Sai family would be meeting together, people that we haven't seen for 10 years. They'll all be coming together. 2 weeks before the conference, we were wondering who the chief guest will be. And 2 days before the conference, we knew that the Honorable Prime Minister will be the chief guest. We were wondering if the convention center would be ready for the conference. The convention center was ready for the conference. So in God's timing, in Swami's timing, everything came together. And I must say that he was an excellent host all throughout in terms of how he gave us that experience of the center leaders. And to me, it just reinforces how important how much importance Swami gives to the centers.
When you think about it, it became, as you said, much bigger than you had imagined, with it coinciding with Guru Purnima as well as the PM coming in, and everything was unexpected. And I think, as you mentioned, people who have not seen each other for 5 years, 10 years, they intermingling and they sharing love. I think that was a huge plus, isn't it?
Yeah, it is huge. And there's on that part of it, just a family coming together. I was we had this workshop where we worked with there was 40 facilitators from India, 40 facilitators from around the world. It was magnificent seeing the room full. And these people, most of them have only met for 5 weeks. So the feeling after that conclusion ceremony for me was to say it feels like a big family event that we have gathered at our parents' house. It just seems that when we meet, there is this feeling that we all have known each other for so long. It's a catch-ups, but everyone knows everyone's family. Everyone knows which part of the world they're from. And just harmoniously we come together without wasting any time. We get busy with what we're doing, the various programs, the various seva that needs to happen, coordinating, organizing things. It's this massive family, and I think it's a feeling that you really can't describe. Like, you would have to be in it to then share with someone what it means.
I think that feeling of oneness that you experience as members of Sai family is very, very special. Sometimes you don't even perhaps get it within your own family, but the Sai family seems like so close to you because your wavelength matches, and as you said, nobody is a stranger. You utter Sai Ram, and no one, doesn't matter which part of the world you're coming from.
There's most conferences you'd go to, they will do icebreaker sessions and all these things, right? Here, there's no need for it because it's like everyone comes in, everyone's focused on that. There's no team bonding, etc. We're all bonded by the love of Swami. So it's very unique in how this family comes together. Very different from even some real family events.
Perhaps you also would have never imagined that Bhagwan would give you such a beautiful responsibility, such a big responsibility. When you look at your life, how Bhagwan has shaped you and what has kept you going, what thoughts fill your mind?
The biggest thought is what my parents always told me from the start, is that I was born with Swami's grace. They were always wanting a child, but for many years after their marriage, they didn't have anyone. Mom prayed to Swami, I had dreams, and then eventually I was born. So right from childhood, I knew that I'm here for something. I didn't know what was it for, but it was to say, okay, I've got to be doing Swami's work. Swami throughout my life has played very different roles. Where I went for Bal Vikas, there was no Bal Vikas when I was 5 years old. When I was 6, Bal Vikas started. I moved to Australia. Within a few years, my parents came in without any issues. They all came. And that's when I started to work on some global roles. What I tell myself is that when these type of projects come up, these type of assignments come, opportunities come, Swami really has given me no excuse to say no to it. I mean, if you look at his cheeky smile, that is what he's doing. But within that, he's also shaped me, because what these experiences that I go through helps me who I am in my own personal life. When I spoke at the Young Adults Leadership Program for Self-Transformation, and the story I shared was this poem that is there, Footprints in the Sand.
Yeah.
There were 2 sets of footprints.
Correct.
And what I shared with them is that when I was, I think in year 10 or something, when I saw that poem for the first time, and it stuck with me. And this feeling of doing something that I would have never imagined, I've done that a few times in life now. And it was like I was starting my own business. I have done the World Youth Festival. I'm doing the conference. It is that feeling when Swami carries you on the unknown, that feeling is addictive, right? So you're always craving for that feeling to say, what's next, Swami, right? Like, what do we do? Because when this the Central Leaders Conference started, the chair of the conference committee was Suresh Menon. Brother Suresh and I were talking. We had got no idea how this will turn out. We discussed it in November. It's going to happen in July. But Swami carried us right through. And when you go and sleep at the end of the day, there's like multiple reasons why I have to say, thank you, Swami, for this. And that feeling, if it's not present in my life, I think I will miss it. So what you do is you look for what's next.
You know, I would want you to share 1 or 2 anecdotes from your life, you know, when you felt how Bhagwan is carrying you. That is one. And second, you know, many times people feel, you know, I'm giving so much time to the organization, you know, can I really give, you know, I'm at a stage of my life and I have to sort out my career, I have to look after my family, and there is so many things to do. I might lose out on that if I, you know, give so much time to the organization. I have to strike a balance. So what are your thoughts on both? Yeah.
Experiences, something that's really shaped me in end of 2016. There was a change. I was working for a company at that time, and there was a change in management, and the company decided to downsize their staff. So I was part of the downsizing. So I go into work. The next day there's no work, right? So I go through that process. That was in December. Then I have to be in the market to look for work. At that time, we were expecting our second child. Very interestingly, I'm going for interviews, going for work, but nothing is happening. 3-4 months down the line, my wife Radhika gets admitted into hospital. It's a complicated pregnancy. She's in and out of hospital to the point where in the last month she spent pretty much the whole month in hospital.
Oh my God!
Right. The good part was, and this comes in hindsight, is that I was home at the time. Right. So I was home and I didn't have to worry about any of the other things. But when she was in hospital, every day I could be with her. And at sometimes I would be very upset on how things are happening, and she's in hospital. I don't have any work to do. But some days I'm thinking, Swami, okay, at least I can be with her. Swami, what I notice of Swami is sometimes when he's involved, but he likes to make it very obvious that he's involved. And the way he made it obvious is the day my son was born. He was born on in the morning. So my phone was all silent. I came back out and I called my parents, I called my in-laws, told them of the good news that baby is here, everyone's doing well. There was a voicemail on my phone. So after talking to the family members and informing them of the good news, I go on this voicemail. And the voicemail was from a company that had offered me a job at that very time.
Wow.
And they said, look, in a month's time, you can start work. That moment hit hard. Like it was like to say, okay, Swami, you've been through this. Now this whole pregnancy journey is over. The complications are all over. And in 4 weeks, they gave me 4 weeks to start work. They said, in 4 weeks' time, you'll start. And everything is there. So you can come and sign, but the role is yours. The baby comes home, Radhika comes home. 4 weeks later, I go start this job. And that for 6 months when the family needed me, I was well taken care of by Bhagwan, and I could be there for that. And that I think in terms of that affection, that love I felt from Swami at that point in time is goes above and beyond any sacrifice or any pain, anything, any challenge I have to endure in terms of serving Swami, because it's just you can't describe what that feeling was of knowing, right? Like it's total gratitude. So that's what motivates me to do this. On the second question, in terms of whether I think about the commitment to the organization, there's two parts to it. And I'm sharing this so that it inspires other people on this as well, is to say a lot of work gets done, but Swami likes to share the love. So as much as it appears, it seems that it's me very busy doing all the work, Swami always blesses these kind of projects with good team members. And this Sri Sathya Sai Center Leaders Conference was done with a good team. Yes, I had to stay up late. Yes, there were times I had to manage my time at business, etc. But they somehow work out. They somehow come through. So I think the biggest thing there is to build a team, share, give opportunities to people. And I've seen some of the work that people have done. It is way better than what I would have been able to do if I were trying to do that on my own. And everyone, I'm talking about my experiences. If I went to my team members, everyone has similar experiences. So they're equally, if not more motivated. For me, it's to say, I would not be able to do what I've been able to achieve in terms of business, in terms of where I want to be as a son, as a father, as a husband, had it not been for the support and the learnings, the experiences that the organization has given me. Overall, it's the organization that has shaped me to be more useful to the world in my professional and personal life.
As Swami says, and if you keep your priorities right, I think if you make Swami priority one in our life, I think everything else just falls into place. And the experience that you shared about Bhagwan just almost rearranging the universe just so that you are getting the right thing at the right time.
I see a lot of that. Like someone asked me today, Brother Suresh, they asked about Brother Suresh. He says, how does he have time to continue working during business hours, right? Like UK, it might be daytime. It is night time for us, but if I want to speak to him, he's available. I haven't asked Brother Suresh, but I said Swami would have worked something out definitely for that to happen. And it's like the biggest example for me is the convention center. How it all came together in the perfect timing for this event. When I was talking, I was saying the convention center could have been ready 6 months before.
Exactly. Yeah. That's the thought that was going on in my mind.
Yeah, Swami waited for this.
Swami waited.
When I was in my flight, when my team did the first tour of the Global Convention Center, Sahira Global Convention Center. So when I landed, I called the team up. They say, "Oh, we've gone in and we've looked at it. It's grand." I said, "Okay, I have missed it." But the next day, when I went to have a look at it, I said, "Yes, look, Swami, I think this was all coming together. Like to have the whole Global Sai family be there to open an institution. It's like it's an experience, right? Like I haven't been here when the Sai Kulwanthoul opened. I haven't been here when Super Specialty opened. So for us, it's a big experience to say, okay, we go in part of history when an institution opens, and we all know what the Super Specialty Hospital does, the Purnachandra, the Sai Kulwanthoul, all of these things. So for a global family to be part of this is a big event for it.
In fact, I remember 1963 Guru Purnima is when Swami announced that I am Shiva Shakti. And in fact, it was the 60th anniversary of that declaration in 2023. And, and now we are feeling that omnipresence of Swami more than ever before. I think as people left the conference, everyone was asking when can we come back again, right? When will we get the opportunity to converge for a similar function again, isn't it?
Yeah, we got a lot of feedback like that. People are looking for reasons to come through, but we inquired, okay, what would you like? And we talked to the Sri Sathya Sai Central Trust. We have got discussions with the Sri Sathya Sai Global Council, and a number of events are being planned. The centenary celebrations are coming up, so we discussed if it's a topic of the Global Convention Center to organize a Unity of Faiths event. So that we can bring the family together there. But we also talked about having some Vedic ceremonies, mass Veda chanting in the lead up to the events. So there's within the, let's say, within our family, there are people with different interests. So what we wanted to do is to cater for those interests and get people in groups on things that they use to connect with Swami. So there's a Veda chanting, there's ideas of a bhajan conference being floated, there's various other ideas being floated. So all of those will be worked on by the team, the zone chairs, and the executive committee when we go back. But it won't be one or two events. I think it will be a lot more. At the moment, Zone 8 and Zone 9 are here on the Yatra. There's the UK is coming at the end of the month. And there's many other countries that are lined up. Some young adult groups are coming. So I think there will never be a dull moment. And many reasons to come here.
Yeah, people are just now waiting for reasons to come to Prasanthi Nilayam and to be a part of some event. And I think the convention center also opened up a lot more possibilities than ever before. And I think the pull of Prasanthi remains. How has it been for you when you go down and sit in Kulwant Hall?
Yeah.
What does it do to you inside?
Yeah, I'll probably take it one step back. I wasn't growing up. I wasn't one of those that was very interested in coming to Prasanthi Nilayam. I always had the belief that look, I'm doing the seva work. I'm helping my center with the various activities I'm doing. I was involved in the youth. That is my seva, and that is my connection with Bhagwan. I had visited Prasanthi a few times, but never every so often. It was until I had my first son. When that's when the moment came when I realized. So I was very exhausted one day from office, came back home, and when I held my son in my hand, there's this moment when it felt like there's just so much joy, right? Like that the whole worries of the day and everything had sort of disappeared when I saw my son, and it was like, okay, I'm relaxed. It's a very different feeling. But out of nowhere, this thought came to say, wouldn't Swami feel the same when he sees me in Prasanthi Nilayam?
Wow.
That feeling, that moment. The next day I'm arranging my tickets to say when can I go to Prasanthi. So from then on I've tried to be here, not so much for the feeling I get, but for the feeling that Swami gets, to be able to see me, to say, hey, this boy is good, he's doing what he's doing, and he's come home to see me. So the feeling in Kulwant Hall often is like it's to say I'm home, and it's to report to Swami as I would go to see my dad now on how things are and how I'm feeling, but having those conversations with him, letting him know how the family is, and it's like a constant dialogue, but it's a very energizing, very positive dialogue, but a very happy dialogue for me. In the Sai Kulwant Hall, it's hard to describe, right? Because everything stops. Like I might be organizing a conference, but there's these moments where you stop and you just soak in what's coming, and this feeling you don't get anywhere in the world. During COVID, when everything had stopped, we were praying at home. The centers weren't active, and were sort of getting used to the feeling that okay, we are working at home and we are connecting and energizing at home. Last year July is when I first came to Prasanthi after COVID, and that's when it struck to say this is a feeling that we were missing. People talk about recharging the battery. I knew how discharged my battery was until I came to Prasanthi. It's unreal, and I always go back motivated. I always go back really excited. Always go back saying, okay, when can I be back here? Swami, please make that happen. it's a very very good feeling. But it's always a feeling to say I've come to see my parents. Like it's just that the child parent interaction.
Wow. When you think about it, it is the most love charged place on the planet, and I think Prasanthi is that air, which the Avatar himself breathed. And I think whenever people come to the ashram, you feel that you are in a different world. The most beautiful thing that also happened during this time is people were allowed to again touch Bhagwan's Sanidhi, which again had not happened since COVID for so many years now. And now as I speak to you, it occurs to me Swami wanted even this to happen during the Central Leaders Conference, that devotees could come and place their head at Bhagwan's feet.
Like if I look at Prasanthi Nilayam the spiritual is one side, but if I look at physically, right, when we do these conferences, we need multiple workshop venues. We needed 10 workshop venues. The ashram had all 10 workshop venues. We needed to feed the 1,250 people. The place was there. We had to feed them in 1 hour. We could do it. We needed to accommodate them. It's there. So Swami has left all these facilities for us, knowing that such events are going to happen. And I think I mentioned this in my opening remarks to say, yes, this place is built for spiritual transformation, but this place is also built to host such grand events that bring the Sai family together. Because at the end of the day, this institution is for us to use, and it's there. Everyone can come in and sit in the Sai Kulwant Hall. Everyone can go in and enjoy the different facilities we have. Everyone was well catered for. So he left this all for us, and it's for us to come in. If his vision was different, these venues would not have existed, right? I think so. Our centers have its own place. The Prasanthi Nilayam has its own place, and I think Bhagwan, like if you look at his vision, it goes beyond any one of our lifetimes. It sees through as we do these events, as the new venues come in, as the different situations in the world happen, you realize that Swami had everything considered.
And I think Prasanthi Nilayam continues to be that spiritual powerhouse, and I think with time, as Ratnakar sir also mentioned, it's the final destination, and people, no matter who you are, you have to come here someday. And this is an experience. When Swami was there, Swami used to always say that if somebody talks about Sathya Sai Baba, you just tell them to come to Prasanthi Nilayam, because this is something that you can never ever explain to anyone. They have to come and experience, and I think that is what is true even now. Thank you so much, brother, and we pray that Swami Bhagwan gives you a lot more opportunities, and you get the chance to spearhead his mission in ways that you would have probably not imagined.
Thank you, brother. And I also like to mention the work the Sri Sathya Sai Media Center does in spreading Swami's message. So many of us, I'm here for 10-15 days in a year. The rest of the days I'm home. So just being able to listen to some bhajans, listen to the Veda chanting, it makes a big difference. So the work the Media Center does is highly valued, very important for the world, and we all love the different programs you come up with. So please continue that as well, and I pray also that Swami blesses you all, so this work can continue on and you inspire and touch the lives of many more of us, and the generations and those who are yet to know Swami, they get also inspired by your work. Sai Ram.